Hi guys. Today I'm gonna make lasagna. It's an Italian dish. It's the best dish on the whole planet. It's so delicious. So we're gonna start by chopping onions. Okay, so we're gonna need meat. We have 1 kilogram right now. Then garlic and onions. And we have to chop the onion. We chopped the onions already. Now we need to get the garlic paste out, and we need to get the meat out. Okay, so now we have olive oil right here. Wait, let's focus this. Okay, so now olive oil. Now just put a bit in. You just take the meat and put it all in, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. It's a lot of meat. Exactly. Okay, so while you cook your meat, take another pot and butter, and then you take 2 big spoons of butter. Put it into the second pot. In the first pot you've got your meat cooking with oil. And then now you take another spoon and put it in again. Wash your hands, of course, before this whole thing. Okay, so now we have used meat, butter, garlic, onions, exactly, and 2 pots. Exactly. Okay, so now you have flour, and in your second pot where you put your butter in, you're gonna put your flour in, and it has to be really thick. And while you put in your flour, stir a bit. Stir, stir, stir. And it's starting to get thick. And it looks good. Like when it has this consistency, it looks good. And while that all happens, your meat still has to cook. And it has to get like this brownish color. So now you get milk out and put it into your butter and flour in your pot. And a good bit of it. So this is going to be your bechamel sauce. You will put this on the top layer, and then it will sink down, and it's going to make the lasagna a bit more flavorful and creamy. Okay, now you put your onions into your meat pot. Exactly like that. And then you've got your onions with meat cooking, and then you've got your milk with flour and butter right here. And now you put in garlic paste right here. Now garlic, onion, meat, and milk, butter, flour right here. The right is the sauce, the left is your meats. In your sauce right here, you put a bit of pepper and salt in to make it more tasteful. And now you put muscat inside. And now it's nice and creamy. This is going to be your sauce for the lasagna. Your next ingredient is going to be a tomato paste, and you're going to mix that with your meat. So, then you get your tomato sauce and put it inside with the meat and the onions and the garlic to cook it as well. So, our sauce is a bit too creamy. You're gonna have to watch out. I'm gonna put a bit more milk inside of it. By the way, like all the ingredients I'm talking about, you can choose any of those ingredients, so just any milk. Now we're gonna put it on water into the meat and the tomato paste to make it that like sauce-like. A bit more, because this is gonna be our tomato, like our bolognese sauce, and this has to really cook. While you cook, always just put in a bit more pepper maybe, or a bit of more salt, how you feel like. You can add more salt and pepper later to your own dish when you take a piece of the lasagna, but exactly, just add a bit to make it more spicier, to make it more flavorful. If you want to make your lasagna a bit more interesting, you can add paprika powder to your meat and tomato paste. And you've got your sauce right here, and your bechamel sauce right here, exactly. And then stir. Don't forget to stir because it's gonna burn. It's gonna burn and then it doesn't taste good. Taste test. Tastes good. A bit more salt maybe. While you cook, do a bit of a taste test to see how much garlic or onion you still need, or tomato paste. So we just noticed it's a bit watery, so we put in a bit more tomato paste to make it more thick. Yeah, exactly. So while your stuff cooks, start to preheat the oven like 10 to 5 minutes before you put it in your pan. Exactly. So we're gonna start by layering the sauce, then one of the lasagna noodles, exactly. So now you're gonna put in your sauce to like start with the ground, and then you're gonna start to layer it, and then put in your sauce. And now we're gonna put on a bit of cheese and bechamel sauce. Exactly, so first the bechamel sauce. As soon as you're done layering your lasagna, put it into the preheated oven and then let it bake for about 30 to 40 minutes at 180 degrees with circulated air turned on. Depending on your oven, let it bake a bit less or a bit more. And then it should get like this crisp top, looking like this. Exactly. So it's been a few weeks since I cooked that lasagna. And I thought it was pretty tasty, but we put a bit much water in, so put a bit less in, because it tasted a bit watery. Exactly. Otherwise it tasted really good, enough salt and pepper and paprika powder. Yeah, it was a good lasagna. It was very tasteful.